Hey, what's up everybody? This is Brick501 and today I want to go over a new update in Outriders, which is mainly focused on the item restoration of lost items, but this also includes most people being given a good chunk of god rolled items, even if they haven't lost items in the past. Now, before we get into the video, only 6% of people that watch my videos are subscribed to my channel. So make sure to subscribe if you want to keep up with all of my videos. So first I want to go over the information of how the restoration is happening, and then I want to go over some of the god rolled items. So first, what will be restored? Items granted will have the same attribute combinations but with god rolled values. So even if it's an epic item, it will have the same stats of an item you lost, but all the values will be maxed out. And these god rolled values are mainly talking about armor and firepower rolls. This means that these items will be at least the same, if not better quality than the original items. Items will be granted at the character's highest available equip level, taking world tiers and challenge tiers into consideration. So say if you were at challenge tier 5 and you lost all your items and you kept playing that character and now you're at challenge tier 15, you're going to be getting all those items back at challenge tier 15. Now they're categorizing the item restoration into 3 groups. So group A, unplayable characters with an invalid inventory. These characters lost gear and were no longer playable, couldn't connect to server, and errors when logging in. Most affected players will be in this group. So this was essentially all the players that got their inventories wiped. And then with one of the updates, those characters became unplayable because they were working on the item restoration. Group B is characters that did not have an invalid inventory, but who have lost gear. And this seems to be the vast majority of people. We'll go over that in a bit. These characters lost gear but were still playable. Players may have continued playing on these characters since the wipe. These cases are far more difficult to exclusively identify in mass but are fewer in number. Then group C, players that do not have an invalid inventory and who have not lost gear. These are essentially all the players in Outriders gaming population who did not encounter an inventory wipe, and they're just noting this because they don't want restoration efforts to impact that group of players. And these different groups have different details on what's going to be restored. So for Group A, all items regardless of rarity that were equipped when you lost your inventory, so actually used on your character, will be restored. All legendary items in your inventory, and I'm pretty sure inventory is including your stash. And then for non-legendary items, 20 previously acquired items that were in your inventory, and first priority is based on rarity, so epic would be first, so epic items will be prioritized higher, will be restored. And then all fully completed accolades will be restored as well. For Group B, up to 20 legendary items that were in your inventory will be restored, and all fully completed accolades will also be restored. And then Group C, no restoration required because that's a group of people that did not lose anything. Now they talked a little bit more about some of the ways that they went about restoration, causing Group C, which is people that lost nothing, will also be getting some items just because of how they were tracking lost items. So even if you're in Group C and thought you didn't lose any items or knew you didn't lose any items, you're still probably going to be getting some items back. And I'm in this group. I don't think I ever lost any items to an inventory wipe, and on all of my characters I got a bunch of items, and with how they're restoring them, they're all god rolled items, so max firepower, max armor. And from looking at the Reddit, it seems a lot of people, even people that thought they didn't lose anything, are getting rewarded a good chunk of god rolled items. Between all of my characters, I got a few dozen god rolled items that I never thought I lost, and these god rolled items are incredibly strong. Specifically for the weapons, I don't think I've gotten a god rolled legendary weapon because the firepower is absolutely ridiculous. It's 99.4k. The highest I've gotten before I think is 97k. So I want to go over a few of those items as well. And I really only have to go over one restored legendary weapon and armor piece because all the weapons have the same max firepower and all the armor have the same max armor value. So first here we have the Lucky Jinx. I actually got a few of these restored, and it's at 99,000.4k firepower, which is the max god roll stat, which is absolutely ridiculous. Like I said, that amount of firepower is crazy. I've personally never seen an item with that amount of firepower before between all of my items, and that is pretty much the only god rolled stat because the 3 attribute stats, especially on legendaries, are static rolls, and if you upgrade all the attributes, they're all going to always upgrade to the same amount. They have that ceiling that you can always upgrade them to, even if they start lower. And then the mods are the mods. There aren't any differences in power or values for the mods themselves. And then here we have a Seismic Commander's helmet, and the God Rolled portion of armor pieces is the armor, and this is 11.3k armor, which by itself is also pretty ridiculous. Now, I have gotten armor pieces pretty close to being this God Rolled armor amount, but on my Devastator, all of the legendary pieces I use, which are 3 pieces to get the tier set bonus, I got the 3 legendary pieces I need for that tier set bonus as God Rolled items. And this is going to give me a few thousand armor increase, which is pretty massive. Some of my max level items that I'm using on some of my characters are only at like 9,000 armor. So if you're getting over a 2,000 armor increase on even one item, that's going to be a pretty big power increase. And the God Rolled armor set is going to be just as good on pretty much every build, every character, because armor is just a damage reduction. For the weapons with the God Rolled firepower, those aren't going to be near as good for anomaly power builds. So the other one is a little bit more important for pretty much every build in the game. And I would also recommend going and checking all of your characters, because I was getting restored some legendary armor pieces for other classes. On my Devastator, I got a Pyromancer legendary helmet. So for whatever reason, you can be getting restored items that aren't even for your class. And I know I've never gotten a Pyromancer helmet on my Devastator. So you're even just getting some random items that you never gotten as a drop before. Not sure why, but I don't think a lot of players are going to be complaining about getting extra God Rolled items given to them for free. And something that's really nice about this that most people, it seems, are getting some of these God Rolled items is that this gives you a pretty good opportunity to try different builds or to get up to higher challenge tiers if you haven't done that. Because like I said, going from say an 80,000 firepower weapon to 99,000 is going to be absolutely ridiculous for firepower builds and may allow you to use different weapons that weren't good enough before. So maybe you can try out some different stuff. And then having the possibility of getting a bunch of God Rolled armor pieces with this massive armor increase could also give you the chance to change around some mods, maybe some class skill points to remove some from defensives since you have a lot more armor. But that's pretty much all I wanted to go over with this new update for Outriders. So subscribe if you want to see more Outriders or other videos. Leave a like if you liked the video. Leave a comment down below what you guys think about this item restoration and these God Rolled items. And thanks for watching.